Hey, what's going on, guys? Mike Jarovic here with Condemned Labs coming at you. And today I have another business entrepreneurial lesson, and the topic revolves around defeat. Yes, defeat. So as you guys know, life is all about wins and losses, right? Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win, sometimes we win more than we lose. But, we try to avoid making those mistakes again because nobody really likes to take a loss. And if you guys look recently at Condemned Labs and you check it out the website, we have the Arson fat burner, and Arson has been our top seller, 5 fucking years now, 6 years. It's going into 6 years. The product took a little while to evolve, and we have trouble holding it in stock. It's a great fat burner. I formulated it. I never really liked fat burners when I used to work in the supplement store and I was competitive bodybuilding. I used to hate fat burners. I didn't like the way they made me feel. They made my head feel hot. I felt like I was getting flashes. I felt like my ears were ringing. I felt like, I was sweating too much, or I never felt good taking it. So when we went to the drawing board with Arson, we spent a lot of fucking time on it, man. I could not sign off on that product right away. With a pre-workout, I was a little bit more sold. And I was a little more savvy in the space because I was more of a pre-workout guy. Now, owning the supplement store, I tried a lot of the products on the market. I was even sponsored by Muscle Tech and Shreds, where I use, the Shreds products and, Hydroxycut and all those other things, et cetera. But I was never a big fat burner guy. It was always easier for me to get lean anyway. I never wanted to try to use that stuff. But, so when I spent my time with Arson, I wanted to try something that was very sustainable, very clean cut. I gave a great focus. Energy, had thermogenic properties, but didn't overdo it in that area. And the main thing, and it sounds crazy to say, but I wanted to put fat burning products in there. I put products inside that formula that actually help shrink and burn fat cells and utilize them as energy and things of that nature. Where it's crazy to even say this, but if you look at a lot of the products on the market today, they don't have that. They don't have fat burning ingredients in their fat burner. They have a lot of caffeine. They have a lot of stimulants. They have a lot of things that make people hot. I was not in the business to fool people. So long story short, upon launching the brand, we come up with the word Arson. Now I knew there was an old product by Muscle Tech because I was sponsored by Muscle Tech, and Iovate owned the company, and they had this other brand like 6 Star Chem Labs or something like that, or Iron Asylum, and they had an Arson. And they've been out of business for years now. The product hasn't surfaced, and we looked around and we didn't see any names online. So, I made a fucking huge mistake. I saw a product that was out there that wasn't out there, and I wasn't copying a name for another brand, but I'm like, wow, this is a great name. So what we'll do is we're going to change the thing up, Arsyn. We're going to spell it a little bit differently. And that product never really took off. I never really remember seeing it on the market too much, and I didn't see anything else on the market. And at the time, you're new to business. You just lay out all this money for a purchase order, and you're trying to build the website and, a social media presence and get some marketing dollars together and shit like that. And it's a lot of fucking money. And, I made a $1,000 mistake that has cost me probably about $100,000 in legal fees. So, recently, I was in a litigation with a guy that you just don't want to fucking be in litigation with. If there's one guy in the industry that you don't want to fucking, ruffle his feathers, it's going to be Jared Wheat. So recently, and Blackstone Labs. So, recently, we had a little bit of a beef, and then, PG and I were friendly. We competed together, so we were cool. And initially when they launched, they were coming out with an Arson. I reached out, hey, I already have an Arson, PJ. That's going to be a little conflicting. So him and I had a conversation, and I thought everything was cool, and, just went along with it. And then long story short, like about a year and a half, 2 years later, our brand's popping off, and obviously we're making some noise, and, Jared owns a trademark. No shit. Jared owns a trademark, and that's the end of it. Boom. Sitting outside adjusting my American flag on the house one day, and when like they're pulling up in the car, and you're looking, and you're like, this ain't a fucking good, this ain't a normal fucking vehicle stopping by with the papers in their hand. And I'm like, if I was in Brooklyn, I would have fucking hit the fences and started running. But since I'm in Florida now, and my neighbors are outside, like my Pleasantville neighbors, they're looking at me, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm getting served right now. So long story short, I get served by Jared, and Jared owns a trademark. So when we first looked it up and did everything, we didn't even think about trademarking anything. Probably about a year and a half later, when we started making money and figuring shit out, and my lawyer, thank God, he's a beast for the most part, and he was on top of that stuff, and he was like, boom. But like sometimes you don't get responses back from the trademark office right away, and we weren't thinking anything of it. When you launch the brand and you have 7 or 8 products and you got to go and trademark shit, it gets fucking expensive. 1,000 here, 1,000 there, 750, 750. Like, you're paying all these fucking fees, and then you're waiting all this time, and you're like, dude, I'm not fucking waiting a year for this shit. I'm going to run with it and see what happens. Oh, look what happened. Here it is, 6 years later, I'm settling, I get the lawyers breathing down my fucking throat every 5 minutes for a fucking payment while they, touch each other's dicks back and forth and play games while, the situation's going on. It's ugly. It's suffocating, right? It starts stopping business, starts halting business. So recently what we did, Jared and I spoke like two gentlemen. He's a good dude. I like him. I like talking to him, outside of the court. Obviously, you just don't want to be on that side of the fence. You don't want to be opponents. You'd rather be friendly. And, we came to an agreement, man. He's going to let me have Arsynist. He's going to let me have it. Yes, I said that. He's going to let me have Arsynist. He doesn't want me to stray the product too far off from where it was. And in return, I'm going to give him the manufacturing, and he's actually going to help me with the manufacturing. So, him and I came to an agreement. The lawyers are writing it up now. And if you guys are going to see, I know a lot of you guys have been messaging and saying, hey, what's up with the Arsynist? I saw you guys change the name to Arsynist. So what we're doing is we're already priming our marketing, and we're letting our audience know, hey, we're changing the name. But the good thing is, guys, the formula as of right now is staying the exact same. And, they're going to have their Arson, Arson. It's a great product. Everything they put out, HiTech, Blackstone, all that good stuff. I have nothing bad to say about them. I sold their brands in my store when I owned my supplement store, so I'm not going to renege on that now and say it's bad. They're one of the few brands that I really liked and got excited about in this industry because, those brands, and like Condemned, we push the envelope of sports nutrition. We're reaching out to a different demographic. We're not looking for, maybe the masses. We're going for a little bit more of a niche-y, edgier crowd with sports nutrition where we're giving them a good product, but we're getting them to push the envelope because at the end of the day, that's what's happening, right? Science is always evolving. Supplements are changing. Training's changing. Diets are getting, there's different diet fads popping up all over the place. People are always trying to optimize their performance, and we're trying to help them with that, with supplementation. So long story short, guys, me and Jared and I came to an agreement. Everybody's cool now. We're getting ready to settle. HiTech's going to be manufacturing Arsynist, and I'm looking forward to it. They're getting ready to do the first one now. The label should be at them this week. We already got the purchase order in place. Jared's going to help us out with the purchase order and make things a little bit easier on us. And it just, it goes to show we've taken a negative and made it a positive. So I'm looking forward to growing this partnership and possibly leaking them more business as we go and evolve and just make sure it's a fit for everybody. But for you guys out there who are starting your own business, my advice to you would be to, get a good fucking attorney. Get a good attorney and try your best to factor in those small costs now before later down the road they become major costs like I did. If I would have paid the $700, $800, $1,000 for that, when I first launched with Arson, I probably would have been in a good spot because Jared didn't trademark it till a little bit after I launched with it. So I would have had it first and I would have not been in this position. But, I cheaped out on it and I overlooked it and I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I wasn't sure where the line was going to take. I didn't know what products were going to move the way they move. And, I'm paying for it now. I'm paying for it. But, I think in this situation, the positive would be, Jared manufacturing the product and ensuring that I have stock because we have had out of stock issues on Arson, and him ensuring that product to be in stock, that in the long run, that will make it up tenfold, the money and stuff like that. But it doesn't always work out like that. This is just a negative into a positive. It turned out to be a good situation that I think is going to flourish, very fruitfully. But, in business with other situations like that, a small mistake could come back to bite you in the ass and it could put you out of business. It could cripple you, So that's the deal with Arsynist. Blackstone's going to have their Arson. Condemned Lab's going to have Arsynist. You're going to see ours are going to be a little bit more smoky. There's going to be a little bit more flame-induced and fiery. Both great products, highly recommended. HiTech will be manufacturing both of them. They're the giants in the game, guys. They're the best of the best. If anybody has a pair of balls and go fight somebody off and defend this industry, it's going to be Jared. So, and I feel fully confident in manufacturing that product with him. And like I said, so nothing else is really changing on that side of the things, but I just wanted to clarify the story for you guys and also give you a little breakdown of what goes on behind the scenes. This is the shit that we deal with every day. These are the things that go behind closed doors. If I can give you guys a little insight, I keep talking about this repetitively in my podcast. If I could give you guys a little insight and save you some bumps and bruises and some scrapes and black eyes, listen, it's coming right now, real time in the raw. I'm going through it. I'm in the trenches right now. I'm still paying these lawyer fees. So if I could save you guys that headache, make sure you get in with a good attorney, run things by a lawyer, make sure you incorporate your shit, make sure you trademark your shit, make sure you do the proper trademark search, and doing all those things from the start or doing them right away when you start making that first initial money. Because I know it's like to be choked up and laying out that money and you're looking at certain things and these hidden costs and you're like, fuck that, I'm not going to pay that. I don't got the money for that right now. Why do I need that for? Well, you can't say that to a judge. He's not going to give a fuck. So, and you're going to have to start paying. So before you wind up paying 10 times that price or 100 times that price, take the money, wait a little longer, or when you first initially make money, if you could fly under the radar and then get it handled with the first initial profits you make, do it. But make sure you get in with an attorney, run things by the lawyer. I run everything by the lawyer now. You know, it sucks sometimes, you know, but he's factored into the cost. And, you know, like I said, guys, it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve. It's all growing pains. So expect to go through this. Entrepreneurship is not easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But that is all for right now. So there is, you know, no difference between the original Arson and Arsynist, except for the name on the label. Look forward to the products coming out. HiTech will be manufacturing. Same great product. And guys, if you have any questions at all, if you want to reach out, if you need any advice, if I can help anybody out in any way, shape, or form, let me know. That's what I'm here for. I just want to touch upon this topic and make it clear for everybody and give you guys, you know, the aerial view of what's going on in case, you know, start seeing on the shelf and the things change. I don't want people thinking I'm baiting and switching products on them. That's not happening. So that being said, guys, make sure you look out for Arsynist Fat Burner. It will be on the shelves. I would say by February, the latest, we should be rocking and rolling with that. Hope you guys are enjoying the 2022, sticking to your New Year's goals and crushing it. We got a big year ahead. We got a lot of things to do. Don't let off the gas. Keep moving forward. All right. Look out for the next video. I am going to be talking about how I started the supplement line, where I came from, what's my place in the industry, and good things of that nature. If you guys like more of these videos and you want to see me talk a little bit more shit, you know, always like, comment, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. All right. Mike Torovic out.